This is such a sophisticated piece of machinery.
Hey, it works.
Barely. What's in here? Ah, this is the Myst linking book. That takes us back.
Okay.
Okay, good. So, it's good to know where that is. Because without a linking book, there's no way back.
Okay. So we just toss that in the water then, right?
Yes, exactly. And we never speak of it again. No, Vera. You little shit.
I mean, hey, it seems pretty peaceful here. Pretty nice.
There's no food. There's no people.
I can hear frogs.
Can you see frogs? No, and that's the part that's gonna drive you nuts. Where did they get all the wood for this shit? Did they really
I
have
don't
a way
know,
to get...
Kavi. Where did they get all the wood?
Did they really have a convenient way to get all these trees? I find that highly suspect.
How deep is the water?
I don't know, but there's a clear... Is that a shadow? Or is that, like...
It might just be a reflection, friend.
I am what is...
It could be ankle deep and you're just kind of a priss.
I am what is colloquially known as an idiot, Vera. I don't know how thing.
It could be an inch deep. You never know unless you try.
I'm not jumping in there. There's an invisible wall in the way. Elevator time. Oofta. Alright. So now we're up here, in the windy bit.
It sounds entirely stable.
Oh, yes. So now we're gonna get, like, a little bit of a glimpse as to what used to live here. Mostly people with very poor construction skills.
Hey, it might have been new.
They really
We haven't
like
found
to
any
play
bodies
them.
yet, so I think we can safely say that they haven't met an untimely end outside of the water.
What was that, Vera?
No,
You
nothing.
can safely say what?
You can safely say that at least if they met their untimely ends, it was in the water rather than outside of it.
That is a very fair and logical deduction.
Which would also serve as a good metric of how deep the water is. I mean, if you can't see the bodies, then...
They're not floating anymore!
yeah.
Ah, this is a spooky place. This one in particular is a very spooky place. I mean, they're all...
I don't care for that creaking sound.
Most people don't. See? Most people don't.
This is the age of get me off this thing.
Is there any way that... This isn't gonna... Wow.
Close the door, Kavi. You're
Well,
not a
this one's not-
savage.
This one's not... Yeah, I know, right? This one's not gonna work unless it has power. I'm trying to remember how to open this door. I could try kicking it. It doesn't seem to be working. Aggressively shoving my body at it isn't working. Vera, what do I do?
We haven't reached the point where we've developed legs yet, Kavi. Try taking those stairs down.
Well, see, that's the problem. Those stairs are behind the door!
Oh. You could always call a contractor.
I could. I know, realistically speaking, I could just fucking hop that. But...
like, with how creaky this place is, I can understand not wanting to do that.
Yeah. Like, they think a door will stop me? No, it's their creaky fucking floorboards that are gonna stop me. Sure, if I found an axe, I could just bust the door down. But that would be considered rude.
You're not a savage, Kavi.
Aren't I, though?
No. I mean, you know enough to read. Well, as much reading goes into touching a picture in a book.
Yeah. I like book. This book have picture. I'm a bad man. The door doesn't open from that side. Does it? No. No, it doesn't. Otherwise, the entire point of the water puzzle would be, well, mitigated by the fact that I could just fucking open the door. So it has to be that I open the door from this side. Hello. Lever.
That works.
I'm struggling to figure out how they built that one.
It's science, Kavi, don't ask.
They don't have science, clearly.
They have stick science.
Is that a real thing, or did you just make that up right now?
Would you check either way?
No. No, I would not. Look at that view. Sorry. Let's try and keep this relatively stable.
Yeah, please.
Voila!
And then the whole stairway raises.
Sure. Now we put this over here, and we can examine... Yep.
I don't think this place is very OSHA compliant.
I don't think so either. Now we can examine this elevator.
Nice.
Yep. It'll actually take us to a place. Hello, is this the OSHA complaint line? I'd like to report a violation of basic human rights.
I mean, hey, at least that bridge had guardrails. Well, as much as you could have on a rope suspension bridge.
Now this is interesting. Isn't it?
We're gonna get to the upper class. Up in the upper branches. Is that cheese? That's cheese.
Yes, but... Well, this cheese has been here for a long time, you can tell that much. But,
yeah, but hey, free knife.
Okay. Do a genocide route. The thing about this wine, though, is that it clearly doesn't belong here. Nor does this cheese. Say what you will about stick science, I highly doubt that stick science would have scientific models of... What is that? Planetary system? No, that's just a gyroscope. It's just a fucking gyroscope. Scientific entertainment, if not... Hello. That is a red page.
Woo! One
What
closer.
else have we got? Oh! That's a knife. And more bottles of wine. Hello.
I think the game's trying to tell you something.
Here we are.
Dock
No,
marker
this.
switch has been off. Okay, got it. So everything has to be on except for the one on the dock, and that's off. The person who ripped this page into didn't do a very good job.
Didn't they, though?
Not even gonna take one bottle for your travels?
What?
Not even gonna take one bottle for your travels?
Nah. Too much work. Now we come to an interesting bit. We've seen what I can only assume to be Cirrus's room. Now let's see Akinar's.
Up yours too, buddy.
That does not look safe. I think of all the things that aren't OSHA compliant in this place, this is the least OSHA compliant thing.
I mean, you heard the chant of warning. There's plenty of time to get your hand out of the way.
And now we come to a much more bare bones basic room. And a blue page.
Ooh.
But I can only carry one at a time.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Them's the rules. What's this thing?
I hope it's alright. That's very interesting device. I'm not racing with it.
Shit.
He is. Remember, take only one.
Okay, so let's pretend I couldn't hear him over the floor.
You couldn't hear him over the floor. Something. I hope I'm not erasing anything important.
And then half the book's gone.
And he was saying to remember to take only one page. Now, I'm gonna spare you. The rest of those recordings appear to be Akinar, the guy in the blue book, doing speech practice. I think he was learning the language of the people who lived here in Channelwood.
Okay.
But I can't be sure.
So when you picked up the second page, did the first one just go back to its spot in the cheese room? Okay.
Yep. So if I decide to come back, I can.
And when you say decide to come back, you mean have to come back to the other page?
Only if I choose to come back to the other page. There's no requirement saying I come back to the other page.
You're probably going to come back to the other page, though.
Possibly. I do like me some pages.
Don't be coy, this is an LP.
Why am I going this way? Why am I going this way?
It's a good question.
It's like a fucking labyrinth.
Full of straight lines. Where there are no walls, and therefore you can see all.
Yes, but that doesn't make it any less obnoxious. Oh,
Close the door, don't be a savage.
I'm a savage!
If the natives here could do it, so can you.
Yeah, well, you know what? Alright, time to link back to Myst. Here we are.
Home sweet and not creaking floorboards.
Mm-hmm. Haha, I brought back a blue page! Let's take a look and see what he has to say now.
He's returned! He wouldn't return. Ages to rescue me. I'm Akinar.
Hi, Akinar.
My brother, I beg you. To be complete. Always blue pages. Listen to him. Not listen to my brother. An egotistical fool and a liar. Bring me the blue pages. The red one. Don't bring the red one.
Okay, that's enough out of you.
I think we should listen to him. I like him.
Should we go back for the red page?
Sure.
Alright.
I just want to hear his brother get all pissy about, don't bring back blue pages.
Such an instigator.
Man, we sure made it back here in record time.
Don't be a shit. Alright,
What?
red page.
I mean, we
Red
did.
page. Just open all the fucking drawers. There.
Alright, so I noticed one main thing is, we can only take one page at a time, which means we're going to be completing one person's book before the other. So is there no way to bring them both back?
No, there's not.
Alright, I cannot hear you over the elevator. Give it a second.
I said! No, there really isn't.
Alright, so we're bringing back Agonar, right?
Well, I'll let you decide for yourself when we get to that point.
Alright.
Because we've got, I think, 2, 3 more pages each to find. Something like that.
I know Agonar's made me laugh so far, so...
But we also haven't spent much time listening to Cirrus.
Sure. Will we be doing a second, quick run-through to see what the other side is?
What's that?
After we take one of them out, are we going to do a quick aside to see what the other one's like?
Sure, if you want.
Sure. That works.
That's the beauty of
Logistics.
save files. What's that?
I said logistics.
Yeah. Speaking of logistics, never mind the fact that I completely fucked that up and tried to go in an elevator without powering it, despite being the person to say that it won't work if you don't power it.
I noticed I just wasn't going to say anything because I was going to let you figure it out on your own.
Oh no, I definitely figured it out, I just... Yeah. I'm a veteran Myst player.
Remember, the 8th is across the water.
I always fucking love that shit. Channelwood is a good age to start on, because it makes things very, very simplistic. The general theme of the world's puzzle is pretty chill.
Yeah, it's pretty simplistic.
Yeah.
Of course, it has the secondary puzzle of how long can you keep your sanity.
That's not a puzzle, that's a test of endurance. Here we go.
Return. Thank you for bringing the red paint.
It's very clever.
You must continue to help. My name is Cirrus. I beg you to find the remaining red pages. You must release me from this book which has become. Bring. I need more red pages, please.
Okay.
Okay, he didn't make me laugh, so...
No. So, a little bit of family history here. These two are brothers.
Gotcha.
Achenar is the eldest, and Cirrus is the youngest. And actually, if you're interested in a little bit of context on the age that we were just in... Oh, no, that's just a...
That one's burned.
Channelwood. This is a journal discussing Channelwood.
Mouse off the page, friend. There we go. Oh, there we go.
Sorry. It basically just tells you about some of the... Ooh. Nope, that's a
GG.
burnt book. Nope, that's the same burnt book!
GG.
It just tells you about some of the base lore of the ages, and sometimes gives you clues as to the puzzles.
Alright, give me a quick rundown, because you're moving a bit fast when you catch up.
Sorry. So... Effectively, with Channelwood, when Atris first arrived, he was treated as a god by the people who were there.
Okay, understandably.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. They, Where
I'm not completely sure the nature of the books, but there is the chance he did. Did he just create them? If so, then
Yeah,
he
he
kind of
wrote
would
them.
be their god.
He wrote them.
Okay.
He would. Yeah. Here we are.
Oh dear. Okay. So he leaves Sirius and Agnar behind, and then they fuck everything up. Is that what I'm getting out of this?
Well, yeah, they seem... They seem to generally be obnoxious and disruptive. Here we are.
I mean, that makes sense for what we've seen so far, but
Yeah.
I mean, there has to be
So-
some reason they're locked in books.
Yeah. So, where do you want to go next? Spaceship, boat, or gears?
Gears.
Mechanical age. This age is kind of a sunken city.
Okay.
What we can expect is that there is a fortress of sorts awaiting us, designed in this fashion, on a rotating system.
Oh
Now,
boy.
yes. The problem is the controls.
And apparently pirates.
If I'm not mistaken, somewhere in the fortress there's a little simulator that's meant to teach you how the fortress rotates. And speaking of
Lefty
rotation...
loosey, righty tighty.
Yes. And speaking of rotation, I think it's time that we rotate the tower.
Alright.